Welcome to our channel. I hope you're doing fine. Natarajia uko salama kabisa, and you are going to like this video. And in case you're watching for the first time, take a second to subscribe to our channel so that whenever I'm doing such content, kila saa unapata notification. And without further ado, let's get into our today's analysis. And in this analysis, nataka kuongelea one Rigathi Gachagua, or the Riggy, now who has become or turned out to be the crowd mover or the ground mover. And Rigathi Gachagua, whoever advised for his impeachment must be regretting, because people expected that Rigathi Gachagua, once impeached, angeenda wa mnyoro, and maybe within 2 or 3 months it could be forgotten. But it turned out to be totally opposite. He started with organizing rallies where he could meet various leaders, consulting, and he has launched his party. And right now, as we're speaking, he is now the person that whenever he's in a rally, people are yearning to listen from, and people are yearning for him to chant or to move the crowd through the strategies or various strategies he is employing. And in this analysis, let's look into various strategies Rigathi Gachagua is employing to ensure that people at the ground, people at a rally want to listen to him. People are excited because in politics, ile vitu naambia watu, ile agenda una push, that's what attracts people, and that's what people want to listen to. And by so doing, you are attracting more people to your side, and at the end of the day, you'll win as a political formation. And number one thing that Rigathi Gachagua is doing is the Wantam movement. Mara tu wakati Rigathi anasema harambe, right now he doesn't even to inform people what they have to say. They respond with the Wantam, and he will start chanting maybe the things he's chanting, and that thing is taking people very well. You can agree with me that Gen Z are making videos with that. People are sharing about it, and Rigathi Gachagua has that energy, power, and he has mastered that technique to the most effective of it, and is making good use of it at the ground, and people are resonating well with it. And number two, Rigathi Gachagua, what he's doing is apologizing, especially the people of the gamer communities. He is apologizing whenever he goes to that areas by saying that I'm the one who brought this person, that's President Ruto. I'm the one who campaigned for President Ruto. Forgive me because I never knew these things could turn out. And when a person comes and sincerely apologizes, there are higher chances that you'll attract people to your side. Because you're coming to a rally and you're apologizing and you're telling people that you told this person good, you are being most sincere to them. And people will really feel that you are honest and you want to a good cause for the community. And when you are apologizing, and in that apology, you are reminding them of how you were impeached and you sacrificed your seat because of the community or because of your people. And it's something also working very well with it. So another number 3 strategy that Rigathi Gachagua is doing, if you're watching the rallies that Rigathi Gachagua is going for, you can sincerely tell that Rigathi Gachagua is not even interested to be a flag bearer or even a running mate. His interest is to ensure that maybe President Ruto doesn't get re-elected. Because if you watch closely, you can see that Rigathi Gachagua is ready even to allow Kalonzo Musyoka, the likes of Matiang'i, the likes of Natembeya, or other principals to get those positions. He can sacrifice that just to make the opposition win. And that thing is making other communities that are in the opposition to feel well catered for. Yesterday he was in UKAMBANI, and he was telling the people of UKAMBANI region that he is going to, for the first time, is going to restore the respect of the UKAMBANI community. That means that Rigathi Kalonzo Musyoka, who is the UKAMBANI leader, is going to be taken care of well in the opposition. That's maybe when they sit on the table, they are going to consider, or they are going to discuss that matter in consideration with the UKAMBANI community. And he is also doing the same to other communities. When he has gone to the Luya communities, he has always told them that. When he has gone to the Kisi community, he has always told them that. Because for him, he is not putting his self-interest ahead. Because a lot of leaders, the problem they have is putting their self-interest ahead. And you'll find that that at the end of the day splits the opposition or the powers that could have, the force that could have been put together to win an election. And if Rigathi Gachagua at the end of the day decides that, okay, he's not going to run for any, he's not going to be on any top seat, that's maybe the president or the running mate, then he is going to be one person behind the people will be proposed to be running mate and flag bearer of the opposition. And that one is going to put him in a very good or significant position, and the country at large will now figure him as a national leader who sacrificed his self-ambitions to ensure that the opposition wins the 2027 presidency. Ladies and gentlemen, another key strategy that Rigathi Gachagua is employing is that Rigathi Gachagua right now is telling the people kwa ground that amwezi zika you cannot bury an elephant with the amwezi zika ndovu na pembe, which means that whenever President Ruto will be going to an area, Rigathi Gachagua has created a strategy where the opposition will be already have gone to that place, and is even rallying people to not to fail to go to those rallies. Rather watoke kwa hizo rallies, they take the money, and he's even telling them how they did it in Mount Kenya. I tell you that thing is going very well with the people in the communities that Rigathi Gachagua is visiting, because he's telling them about the monies and how the government is moving with a lot of monies, and whenever the president will be coming, there's a lot of money that will be mobilization funds that will be being distributed. So he's advising people to go and pick that money. But in the same case, he's reminding them that the most important thing here is the money, but the vote, you'll be voting for the opposition. And the fact that he's mobilizing people to even turn out for these rallies of the government is a way ahead. He's putting his side a way ahead, because people will be turning out, of course, but in mind they will be there for the money, and he's preparing them psychologically for that. And it's also a good strategy that is working very well for him. So the last thing that Rigathi Gachagua is employing very well is the Gen Z. Remember that in Kenya election, Gen Z form about 65% of the total registered voters, and they'll be very big determinant. I tell you that other than the community of the tribes, their people will be making independent decisions. Learned young youths will be making independent decisions on which side they'll be voting for come 2027. So Gen Z, Rigathi Gachagua is, whenever he goes to a rally, he'll always mention the Gen Z. Whenever he's mentioning the money, he'll always remind the people that kula hii pesa mkule hapa kwa soko, msiende nayo nyumbani, because iko na damu ya Gen Z. And that thing is touching the hearts of Gen Zs. And in any case, there won't be any side that will rise strong. That's between the opposition and the Ruto side. If there won't be a side that will rise, that will take the Gen Z, trust me, a good number of Gen Zs are going to rather support the side of Rigathi Gachagua. And if Rigathi is going to be tactical enough in the position to create a position for a Gen Z, maybe even the prime position, to create it specifically for a Gen Z, or allocate significant positions for Gen Z in the position, that thing is going to attract Gen Z to the opposition. Ladies and gentlemen, you can tell me what you think about the strategies Rigathi Gachagua is employing. Of course, you can even talk about the pay slip is also one thing that Rigathi Gachagua is also about speaking about in rallies, something that's also moving around. Remember that in Kenya we have about 3 million pay slip holders. So it's also something that is really touching pay slip holders. And remember that pay slip holders in Kenya are people who have learned, independent decision makers, and they don't vote. Majority of them don't vote in lines of tribes. They'll vote in lines of the economy and in lines of their salaries. And Rigathi Gachagua is touching them, including the police force. The other day he was telling the police force that he'll restore their, yesterday he was telling them he will restore their pay slip and ensure that they are not heavily taxed, and they should not even, because they, as much as they are told to warushe tear gas to the opposition, wanarusha side ingine. It's a good thing or a good strategy from Rigathi Gachagua. That's the reason you can tell to think about the opposition and what they are doing and what the Rigathi Gachagua is doing. Do you think these strategies are significant enough? And do you think they will make the opposition to win? Otherwise, have a nice weekend. Stay safe whenever you are, and be well.